Hi, I'm Jess Todtfeld, and welcome to the webinar. Yes, you notice that something's different. It's not just a PowerPoint where you can't see my face. It's actually a human being talking to you. And I know you're disappointed. You only wanted to see slides today and not just someone to talk to you. Why would I do a webinar about speaking and not speak to you, right? It should be more interesting. This is what webinars should be. So welcome to Use Speaking to Drive Your Business Specific Techniques for Agents and Advisors. I'm glad to see you today. I can see all of you. I can see through. No, I can't. Welcome to, this is actually the replay. Ooh, he's branding it right in the beginning so that on the replay it all works out nicely. And I'm going to surprise you in a few ways. This is not even going to be a full hour. Why? I value your time, I value my time, and I'm going to get to the point because we don't have all day long, none of us do, to be able to do these things. So let's see what we got here. First piece, create your own events. Create your own events. So if you're not doing events right now, you should be, because the people who work with you want to like, know, and trust you before they start working with you and paying you. And if you think to your clients, think back to clients that you already have, they are probably people who have seen you in the real world first. So one way to tighten the loop on that, and I'm big on that phrase, tightening the loop. I don't want you to have this 2-year span where you kind of talk to somebody and they were kind of referred to you and, you know, they kind of dangled around and something happened and they had to rush together to start working with you. We want it to be more consistent and tighter. Creating your own event is a piece of that. So now some of the people tuning in are financial advisors. And financial advisors, ones that I've trained, often talk about these dinners that they've done. This is one way of doing it. I'm not saying everybody should do it, but this is one way. I'm going to tell you how to tighten the loop on this. I'm looking for my little prop because I need a prop to make this point really well. You'll see in a second. And at these dinners, they're paying $50 to $100 per plate, maybe a steak dinner, and sitting everybody around. They say, hey, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I do and about different ways that you can save for retirement. And then we'll have a nice dinner and, you know, hey, if you want to work with me. And what happens is the speech itself kind of falls flat because it's not focused on, get ready, write this down, the problems that they have, the frustrations, the concerns, and the challenges. That's where you should be focusing on a lot of your effort and not necessarily just, hey, this is what I do. This is what I talk about. This is what I sell. They don't know if they need it yet. They need to know that they need it. So that's some of what you do in your actual speech or presentation. Right now, I'm overusing air quotes. That was the Saturday Night Live thing. And then during the dinner, or as the dinner closes up, what happens is most times people will say, all right, so, you know, if you want to work with me, let me know. And people go off to their lives and they might say, yeah, I might reach out next week. Doesn't work. I'm going to tell you what to do to close the loop. You want to hand out a paper calendar that says, I have these 10 slots available. I'm going to be having a busy next 2 months. If you liked what I was saying and you think, well, actually, I'm thinking two things. So I'm kind of bottlenecking in my head. I'm going to take a step back. It's very important while you're giving your presentation to say, now, I could go deeper into this around the situations that all of you have, but some of that is private, and this is not the place to do it. We should really talk at a different time specifically about you, and I'm happy to carve out a little bit of extra time, and I'll tell you how we can do that later. So you want to plant seeds along the way that you'll give them just a little bit of extra time so they know coming up at the end, that's not where you should be doing it, because everybody comes up and some people can't come up and they just leave. They should be signing up to have a specific next step conversation with you. And you decide, is that on the phone? Is it a free 15-minute to 30-minute consult? Don't take hours and hours to educate and educate and educate and they do nothing. but 15 to 30 minutes? Or is the next step they come in and they meet with you face to face and you map out, you say, I'll tell you what, bring this, this, and this, your finances or whatever your situation is, and let's see where you stand. So for our insurance professionals who are tuning in, let's see what you have. Do you know what you have? Let's do an audit. I'm going to give you a free audit. It's a $297 value, so you need to put a number on it. So that you say, I'm going to give it to you. You guys came here. I'm going to give it to you, but this is what I need from you. You have to lay down what they need to do. They need to come in and they need to bring this, this, and this. And you may say, listen, some of the problems, the pitfalls that you work through when you're having that meeting or event or dinner, say for our insurance agents, is you say, I'm going to tell you something that's a real story, which is a week ago, some friends of my wife and I in town, their house burnt down. And thankfully, it seems like they had done some things right with insurance. But I said to my wife, we moved into our house 15 years ago. First off, do we have fire insurance? She said, yeah. And I said, second off, what are we covered for or not covered for? What are the pitfalls? What did we forget? Because they're finding out what they forgot. What did we forget? I don't know. And in looking at it, with a professional who does a little audit, they'll be able to say, look, you made these decisions for 15 years ago. Things are different now. Now you have kids who are going to college. We should be switching some of these. This is silly where you're putting money here, just put it over here. So you need to show them what the next meeting would be like, and also the benefits of how you're going to either be saving them money or heartache. We're motivated in two ways to take action as human beings. And it's either to seek pleasure or avoid pain. Guess which one is the bigger motivator? It's avoid pain. We want to avoid pain. So you have to highlight that in your event. So let me tell you a little bit about events and where you can go. A couple of places, really great. Local hotels in your area for a room for a couple of hours on a weekday night or in the middle of the day, but probably in a weekday evening. Could be a Saturday or Sunday morning, but for just a couple $100, you can get the room. And I'm going to tell you one even better. If you say to the hotel, I know that a lot of people in town have relatives or business associates that come to town and they don't. You have to talk to their director of sales to have this conversation. And I know that most of us have never been to your hotel because we live in this town. Why would we ever come in? And relatives or business associates, whoever, should stay here. What if I did a little event for an hour or an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, probably an hour is plenty, and brought people in and you guys did a pitch for 5 minutes about how great the hotel is, and talked about, what happens here and, explained, and then I went and did my program. Do you like that idea? Most of them have unused meeting space that's just sitting there all week. They'll probably say, yeah, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it a bunch of times. So you can get free meeting space. You can also get free meeting space. Write this down. This is good stuff, people. And it works because I've seen it work. So another idea for you for getting some free meeting space are local banks in your area. They often have a meeting room, a community room. They want people from the community to come in. Same model. They talk for a couple of minutes. Hey, this is our bank. We're running a special promotion to open up an account. And then you do your thing. And they'll promote the event and you'll promote the event. So getting in front of people, we want human beings interacting with us to know if we should take a next step. Getting in front of people is always a good idea. And some percentage of those people will take a next step. The paper calendar is an amazing, you think we got all these tools. I love all my gadgets, but to say, listen, take out your own phone, your calendar, take a look. These are when I'm available. After that, I'm going to be pretty busy. I'm just not going to be able to talk. You'd be surprised. people are in that sweet spot of feeling, oh, I should do something about this. Okay, fine, I'll just take care of it. You let them go home, they're going to forget about it. And it's just not going to work. So another place is your local library. They also have event space that you can use. You can partner with them and have them promote. All right? Speaking can help you get more clients. It can help you get more clients because we value the face-to-face. You should be thinking about getting out there. You can do virtual presentations like I'm doing right now. I'm using Zoom. Zoom.us. You can go there. You can sign up for an account. And you can broadcast. You can interact with people. You can talk to the people there. For Zoom, you can actually open up the various different windows to see people's faces, or you can have it turned off and they can tune in via phone call. It's even easier than some of the other webinar platforms, but you can pick whichever one, even GoToMeeting or the other ones. You can talk via video. When we did this particular broadcast last time in this talk, we had one of the attendees, I had a version of this where I did way more workshopping with everybody. And one of them said, hey, I'm in a rural area. Jess, I love how you're interacting and that I really feel like I'm getting to know you. I think I want to do that. I want to do more of the virtual. And this is part of a content marketing strategy. So we all know, you should have a blog, you should be putting stuff on Facebook and LinkedIn. Why? Because you're leading with educating people. And this is a great way to meet more people, and you don't even have to leave wherever it is that you are. You can decide on your setup. So I have a setup where my computer right there is leaning over here, and I just put the slides over my shoulder, and I can just talk to you even better, because usually it pushes you down into a tiny little box, and then the slides are the whole show. I want you to meet me. I want to meet you. I can see you. I just turned your webcam on. I can see you. I can't see you. Right at that moment, people, what? I said that once, and somebody did email me that they got that they could feel the heat building because they were still dressed in whatever they woke up in. So speaking, it gives you an opportunity to share who you are. And you should never try to be me. You shouldn't try to be whoever you like, Oprah or Tony Robbins or whoever you like and would love to emulate. Don't try to be them. Be number one at being you. Be number one at being you. You've had indicators from the people who love you about what is best in your personality. Let that come out in addition to talking about finances and insurance, and you're not really talking about that. You're talking about the outcome. The outcome is saving them from heartache, saving them from a mountain of mistakes, right? Being prepared, feeling good. Sell the outcome. Just like if you get a gym membership, we don't want to sign up because we're going to be sweaty and have to figure out where to find an hour in the day to get over there. No, we're signing up because we want the outcome. We want to be ready for summer, have the best bod for summer. Why do I have to shorten it to bod? The best bod for summer, right? You're going to look better, feel better. You're going to look better in your clothes. All right, maybe I'll join. But not go out, get sweaty. We want to lose weight, not the process of leading up to that. Speak more to get clients. All right? So there is a speech to client process. And the process, it's kind of like a funnel. You've heard about the funnel. A buddy of mine talks about it as the steps. And you have to have the smaller number of steps, or else you're going to take a year or years to close new clients. So you have to think. This is the idea, the importance of getting people to sign up and just take a next step right away. In fact, when you have a conversation with people, my buddy Trevor Crane, who teaches a course on sales, says you got to BAM fam them. BAM fam? What's that? BAM, book a meeting, fam, from a meeting. So if you have a phone call and they're not ready to take some next step, or hey, this is what you should do. This is you diagnosing and saying, look, this is what you should do. I'm telling you, this is what's going to make sense. What do you want to do? You want to take action? You want to do it today? What? And if they say I'm not ready, then you bam fam. Book a meeting from me. I say, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to chase you around. I got lots of other things to do, but let's have a conversation next Tuesday. Why don't you go talk to your spouse or whoever it is, have that conversation, and this is the only thing I ask, just make a definitive decision. Yes, I'll do it. No, I don't feel like it. Whatever it is, I'd rather be in pain years from now when I realize I didn't take care of this. Just make a decision. No decision is never a good decision. Tell them that. You want to be like a doctor. You want to diagnose. You want to examine. Sorry, this is the order. Examine, then diagnose, prescribe. Examine their situation. Ask them lots of questions on these calls or the face-to-face. Diagnose what the situation is and prescribe. Say, you need to do this. How's that for a sales technique? And you can do some of this when you're speaking. And when you're speaking, you need to tell stories, because this is what makes it real, of clients you've helped and people who've made wrong decisions and what happened to them. So they say, whoa, I don't want that pain. I want to avoid that pain, right? I want to get over and feel better. So those are some of the sweet spots. I'm going to make a quick little plug because this is a good time for it. I'm not going to wait till the end, and I'm going to make it real short. I teach people, just so you know I didn't even give the whole bio. I mean, you saw when you signed up, which is I'm a former TV producer, and I teach people how to speak to close. How can you speak in a way? So I'm focused on the presentation and the business side of turning speaking into clients and money. I have an event coming up called Magnetic Speaker. It's 3 days on the business of speaking. You can go to magneticspeaker.com. And if you're watching this after it's already happened, there's one about every 6 months. And then in between, I do something else called Speak to Close, usually for financial advisors or for insurance professionals. And you'll just have to reach out to me if you want to know about that. I guess I should give my email address, which is Jess, Jess, at magneticspeaker.com. Just send me an email. We can chat. Maybe we'll have a short little 15-minute chat, which actually I do have something you can sign up for. I guess I'll bring it up, which is if you go to appointmentwithjess.com, we can have a one-to-one meeting. There we go. I made the little plug, but it's relevant to you. And I'm going to get back into showing you some of these pieces. You know, there are ways people are okay with you making a little plug if it's not all an advertisement. And notice that I gave you something first. I showed you the value, and then said, hey, I want to let you know about this thing. Less of a big deal, right? If I said I want to open up by promoting a whole thing, and you say, I don't even know who you are yet, Jess. I don't know if you're a helpful person, that you're going to help me get what I want. There's a great Zig Ziglar quote where he said, if you help people get what they want, they'll help you get what you want. That's what you want to do. All right. I was talking about it before. I'm going to continue talking about it. The steps. So sometimes we think of it as the funnel, which is let's say you give an event and you speak to 100 people. Let's say you speak to 10 people. Let's make it real, because you may only be able to get 10 people to show up. So we'll say 10 people. One step down, the people who say, I'm going to meet up with you, or I'm going to take some action, maybe that's 4 or 5. It could be, if you're good and you actually get them to sign up on the spot and not leave and forget about it, you're going to get a higher number. So let's say it jumps down to 5. Say you use the calendar and it's 6. Of the 6, the next step is 3 people take action. So it means you should be talking to more people. If you want a secret about closing more sales, here it is. If you want to make more sales, you need to make more offers. If you want to make more sales, you need to make more offers. So either in that introductory call or the face-to-face, you need to say, here's what I think you should do. Examine, diagnose, prescribe. I'm prescribing this. What do you want to do? Then shut up. Let them talk. We need to eliminate the steps. If you're meeting people for coffee and you're going out with this one, and then you got to meet again, and you have phone calls that go hours and you're not closing anything, you need to make a change to your system. It's not working. You need to better convey your messages. So how do we do it? I gave you a little secret a moment ago. Telling stories. When I brought up the family in town, it wasn't even a full-on story. When I talked about the family that's in my town, that's house just burnt down, it got real fast, right? It's not in case there was ever a fire, here's what happens. No, our close friends just had their home not just on fire, burnt down. So it became very real for us. Hey, what should we do? That's a sweet spot. Telling stories is a sweet spot. We connect with the characters. We're visually there. And there are ways to tell better stories. We're not going to go into too much on that today, but that's how you better convey your messages. And if you want to close more sales, you have to make more offers. It's as simple as that. Brian Tracy, in one of his books, talked about talking with sales professionals, and he said, what percentage of your day do you spend on selling? They said, oh, at least 90%. And when they followed them and watched them and mirrored them, they noticed that maybe 10% was actually in a sales conversation. The rest of the day was, pushing papers around and calling and putting stuff in the computer and doing what they needed to do. So they were under the impression, well, I spend my whole day doing this. I want you to be, after today, after this chat that we're having together, I want you to be real with yourself. I want you to look and say, how often during a day am I actually making offers and in a sales conversation? So if you have a 1-hour meeting or a 15-minute call with somebody, and it's more of a bringing them through that process, examine, diagnose, prescribe, then you're in that sales conversation. You want to close more sales, you're going to make more offers. All right, back to the way we started. Creating your own event. I gave you 3 venues where you can do it. Are you going to be perfect at it the very first time? No, life is not, we're never perfect at something. But if you are audience-centered, if you really help them and you think about those steps, you are going to get more business. That's it. I kept it tight today. I kept it super tight for you. So if you want to meet me or take any next steps, definitely visit magneticspeaker.com. You can see that program. You can also check out speaktoclose.com. That's T-O, not speak too close. Don't speak that public service announcement. Don't speak too close to people. That's something else. That's not what I teach. This is speaking in a way where you can close more business. And setting up your own events. And last key piece for setting up your own events is the title of the event is what will get people there. It needs to be something doesn't have the word, say, insurance in it. So I've worked with a number of tax professionals. And a lot of times I'll say to them, I don't want the word tax in anything that you do. I want, it can be in the subhead, but I want you to lead with something like, keep more of the money you make. Whoa, I love that. Yes. And how avoiding these simple tax mistakes can help you keep more of the money you make. They say, I love it, because now I'm about helping people to obviously seek a certain pleasure and avoid pain. 2 in 1. Think about the titles. All right, I'm Jess Todtfeld. You want to email me? Reach out, Jess, Jess, at magneticspeaker.com. Definitely check out that website as well. And I'll see you on one of the next broadcasts. Thanks for being here.